Let me ask you something. You worked hard on something. Really hard. You prepared, you planned, you showed up, you gave it everything you had. And then it did not go the way you wanted. Maybe you did not get the result. Maybe nobody noticed. Maybe after all that effort, you were left sitting there wondering what the point even was. And now you are hesitating. You are second-guessing whether to try again. Because somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice is saying, what if I put in all that effort and it still does not work out? So you hold back. You play it safe. You either do not start, or you start but you are already anxious about how it is going to end. And that anxiety, that constant eye on the result, it is quietly draining everything out of you. You are not lazy. You are not a quitter. You are exhausted from tying your entire sense of worth to outcomes you cannot fully control. Today, that changes. Here is what attachment to outcomes actually looks like in your daily life. It is sending a message and then checking your phone every 10 minutes waiting for a reply. It is working on a project but being unable to fully focus because half your brain is already calculating whether it will succeed or fail. It is giving someone your best and then feeling crushed when they do not respond the way you hoped. It is starting something new but quitting the moment it does not show results fast enough. You are not fully in the work. You are already in the result. And because you are living in a future that has not happened yet, you are not actually present in the effort happening right now. This is the trap. The more attached you are to the outcome, the worse your effort becomes. Because fear creeps in. Doubt creeps in. And the work suffers because you are no longer doing it freely. You are doing it desperately. And desperation is never someone's best work. Here is the truth. You cannot control outcomes. You never could. The only thing you have ever had full control over is the effort you put in. But if you keep measuring your effort by the result it produces, you will spend your entire life feeling like you are failing, even when you are doing everything right. Marcus Aurelius led the Roman Empire through some of the most brutal years in its history. Wars on multiple fronts. A plague killing thousands. Political betrayal inside his own circle. He showed up every single day, made decisions, led armies, and governed millions of people. And he had absolutely no guarantee that any of it would work out. Here is what he wrote. Confine yourself to the present. Not the result. Not the future. The present. The effort in front of you, right now. He understood something that most people spend their whole lives missing. The outcome is not yours to own. You can influence it, yes. But you cannot control it. What you can control, fully and completely, is the quality of your effort in this moment. Marcus Aurelius committed to the work. Fully. Without holding back. And then he released the result. Not because he did not care. But because he understood that caring too much about what he could not control was the fastest way to lose focus on what he could. That is the practice. That is what day 5 is about. Commit to the effort. Release the outcome. Not indifference. Not giving up. Release. There is a difference. And today you are going to feel that difference. Here is how you actually apply this today. Not as an idea. As a method. Step 1. Before you start any task today, ask yourself one question. What is the one thing I can fully control here? Not the result. Not how others will react. Not whether it succeeds. Just the effort. Your preparation. Your focus. Your honesty. Your execution. Write it down if you have to. One sentence. The only thing I control today is how fully I show up. That sentence becomes your anchor every time your brain drifts toward the result. Step 2. Practice what Marcus Aurelius called negative visualization. Before you begin something, take 30 seconds and ask yourself, what is the worst realistic outcome here? Sit with it. Let it land. And then ask, can I live with that? Most of the time, the answer is yes. And once you have already accepted the worst, the fear of it loses its grip on you. You are no longer running from failure. You have already looked at it. And it did not break you. So now you can work freely, without that shadow following you around. Step 3. When the task is done, regardless of the result, ask yourself one final question. Did I give this my full effort? If the answer is yes, you succeeded. That is the whole measure. Not the outcome. Not the reaction. Not the reward. The effort. If you gave everything you had, the work was done right. Whatever follows is outside your control, and that is not your failure. That is just life doing what life does. Your action target today is to pick one thing you have been holding back on because you are afraid of how it will turn out. Start it. Give it your full effort. And deliberately release the outcome before you even begin. That is the whole job today. I want you to think about something. Every time you have held back because you were afraid of the result, what did you actually protect yourself from? Not failure. Failure can happen whether you try or not. You protected yourself from the one thing that could have actually changed things. Your full effort. Freely given. Without a price tag attached. The greatest things you will ever do in your life will come from moments where you committed completely and expected nothing back. Not because the result did not matter, but because you cared more about doing it right than about being rewarded for it. That is the kind of effort that builds something real. In your work. In your relationships. In yourself. When you stop chasing the result, something remarkable happens. The work gets better. Because you are finally present in it. You stop holding back pieces of yourself as insurance against failure. You go all in. And even if the outcome is not what you wanted, you walk away with something that cannot be taken from you. The knowledge that you showed up fully. That you gave it everything. That you did not shrink. Marcus Aurelius did not know if Rome would survive. He showed up anyway. Every single day. Fully committed. Quietly unattached. That is not weakness. That is the most powerful way a person can live. The person who started this video was someone gripping the result so tightly that the effort was suffering. The person finishing it now understands that the moment you release the outcome, the effort becomes free. And free effort is your most powerful effort. You are not the same person who pressed play. Your willingness to show up today, for yourself, without knowing exactly where this is going, that is already the practice in action. Here is your one sentence to carry with you today. Do the work fully. Expect nothing. Release the rest. Drop your action target in the comments. One sentence. What is the one thing you are going to commit to fully today, without being attached to how it turns out? Write it down. That comment is your commitment. And it starts right now.